here goes nothing. Okay, I swear I practiced this time to make sure that the audio was going to be good. So, all right, for everybody who's watching this after the fact, hello, beautiful people. My name is Amanda Zitto. If you are new here, I make motorcycle travel vlogs, how-tos, and general encouragement for you to get out and do the thing. And once a month, we do these lovely little live streams where I get to chat with all of you, and it's my favorite thing. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Hello, Velcro. Whit Maze has been here. Lynn is here. Jeff is here. All of my favorite people are already in the chat, and it's so cool. All is good. Oh, excellent. Fantastic. And Petty Nerd and David. Oh, this is so good. First exciting thing that I need to share with all of you guys is that this is, knock on wood, the third day in a row that I have not had stomach pain, and it is incredible. I don't even know how to put words to it, but it's amazing. Like, I had full on forgotten what it was like to not have stomach pain, so I feel amazing. Second awesome announcement is that I have 2 new ambassadorships that I have signed contracts for, and I'm super stoked to share it with all of you. First one I'm going to share is that I signed on with Moto Camp Nerd. I'm sure maybe you guys know about him, maybe you don't. Motocampnerd.com is a new website that is like trying to fill in the gap of fulfilling the needs for motorcycle campers, so only carrying motorcycle camping gear that will fit on a motorcycle and will work well for our needs. So I'm super stoked to get to work with him. He sent me some new goodies, which I want to share with you guys so bad. I've already made a video for patrons trying out some of my new gear. So patrons already kind of know about this, but you guys know that last year I bought like this MSR skillet. It has a little bowl in it right now to protect the bottom, but during my trip, this handle, because it folds in, was like wearing away on the inside of the nonstick until I just started taking it straight off, but it had already done its damage. So I'm super stoked to now have the Sena Summit Alpha Pan, and the handle folds under, and I didn't know I could be so excited about a skillet, you guys. Like, wow. I've already done a test cook with it, and it's like, everything I didn't know that I needed. It passed the egg test, so it's super nonstick, and since it's the Sena Summit brand, my pot fits like perfectly inside of it. I'm so happy, you guys. Another thing that he sent me is the Sena Summit Watercell, and this Watercell is also 4 liters like my MSR, but it's like, it takes up like half of the size since it has like the deep, so I'm super excited about that. So it will like legit actually sit on my back seat instead of like hanging over both sides. So I'm super stoked to test this on the Idaho BDR. I'm very excited about that. I also got one of the Snugpak sleeping bags. I've never owned, well, I shouldn't say I've never owned. I have owned a synthetic sleeping bag, but not since I was like 10 years old. So stoked to test this sleeping bag out on my next camping trip. Maybe not the Idaho BDR. I want to take it on a camping trip before that. I have other plans for maybe upgrading my sleeping bag for the Idaho BDR because I full on expect it to get pretty chilly when we get up into higher elevations, but that's super exciting. And then also, to let you guys know, if you are interested in checking out motocampnerd.com, you can use the code Magpie, all caps, one word, to get 10% off of your order. And I'm just so excited about that, so I hope you guys go check him out. He's trying to do really awesome things for the moto community, so that's very exciting. Matt, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for sharing your adventures with us. Thank you for watching them. I wouldn't be able to do this without all of you guys. This is a reciprocal relationship. So thank you so much for the super chat. Also, since I am feeling so much better, we have whiskey tonight, you guys. Oh, it's Bird Dog and Coca-Cola. So cheers. Thank you for the super chat. You received your patch yet? Yes, Edward, I did. I thought that I noted you. It's on my YouTube stories. I made a YouTube story about it. Thank you so much for the patch. For the rest of you guys, Edward sent me a lovely little patch with the embrace the suck phrase on it from the Flight of the Magpie series, which was just so sweet. Thank you so much. I got that phrase, you guys, from Through Hikers. That's like a big phrase in the hiking community, is embrace the suck. Cool moto camp gear. We all can deal with that. Yes. Hi, Critter. Hello. Yay. It's the small things that bring us joy. For real, though. Going to Daytona. Probably not anytime soon. I'm still recovering from the trip. Oh my gosh, it was only like 6 months ago, you guys. Was it 6 months ago? I don't even know. August. Oh, September, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, it was 6 months ago. That's embarrassing. You did not see me just count on my hands. That's fine. I'm going to get crazy. Yes. I finally made a live stream. Yay! So happy to have you. I found the bottom of my whiskey bottle last night, so sadly can't imbibe with you. Oh, I'm sorry, Valcro. You can imbibe with me in spirit. That is okay. Right. Second announcement. I am now an ambassador for Scorpion. After 3 years of essentially being a walking advertisement, because like my whole suit was Scorpion, my helmet was Scorpion, so I'm super stoked to now be a Scorpion ambassador. And they sent me a new helmet. I'm very excited about it, you guys. It's the desert tan color. They just came out with this color and I'm just so excited about it. The other thing that makes this part like really exciting is that Scorpion has like the double pane visors for like, I think they're meant for snowmobilers, but they sent me one and a breath box, and I'm so excited about cold weather riding now. Like, oh my goodness. And they sent me brand new gloves. This is so exciting. I haven't had like winter gloves that aren't snowmobile gloves in 4 years, 3 years. Oh, they look so good on camera. But they like actually have armor in them, and I get to test out their waterproof. Something that's neat is that you probably can't see very well on camera, but the gusset on the inside is elasticated. Elasticated, that's totally a word. I've only had like one sip, you guys. It's already starting. So that water can't seep down in the inside. So I'm just, oh, and it has like the slide plates on the glove. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited. Oh, Orlando, thank you so much for the super chat. I love your channel and videos. Recovering from Rona. Can't wait to get out and ride on Ducati Multistrada. Ooh, Multistradas are so much fun. Cheers. Thank you so much for the super chat. David, thank you so much for the super chat. We all appreciate you. Please say hi to Evel. Is that how you say it? Evie? Evel? She loves you and so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Let me know if I said that right. I'm sorry. Is it an I? Sorry, I'm like looking at a tiny screen, so I can't see if that's an I or an L. Evie. Evie. Evie? Evie. Thank you. Daytona Sturgis, been there, done that. It's never gonna go again. Valkyra, I'm stealing that word, elasticated. I know that there's probably a better word for it. I don't know. Let's see. And I shared all my new camping gear with you and my new helmet. I totally did not write notes down because I totally expected myself to forget everything that I had planned to say to you guys once I started drinking. Oh, the other thing that Scorpion did is they sent me a brand new Yosemite suit. I was talking to one of their reps and I was like, could I just like send in my jacket? Because like that arm, oh my god, I can't remember what they're called, but there's like a little strap here on the arm that keeps it like nice and closed down while you're riding. And I ripped that like a year ago or something like that, and it just wasn't a big deal. And there's like a couple marks of seams that are coming undone because I've crashed in it so many times off-road. And so I was like, can you just like, can I send it to you and could you like fix it a little bit? And they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, okay, cool, because I've like had it for like 3 years, so it's essentially my second skin at this point. And he's like, oh my god, that is so old, we'll just send you a new one. And I'm like, could you fix the old one still? And they're like, yes. So I have a brand new Yosemite suit to take on the Idaho BDR, and I posted it on my Instagram stories. I don't know if you saw, but like I was comparing my old pair of pants to the new pair of pants, and I swear they look like different colors because the old set is so dirty. And that's after like I thoroughly washed and took care of them right before Fly the Magpie, and it still looks like a totally different color. It's crazy. Hi, Geared Raven. It's so lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. 88 in the conversation. Yeah. Hi. Cinch strap. I don't know if I would call it a cinch strap. Oh, the arm. Yes. Thank you. I had a plan, then I started drinking. So yeah, it's me. It's me. Yay! Oh, all these lovely people in the comments. It's so good. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love hanging out with you. It's so lovely. Also, I wanted to say here, thank you so much for the response to the Rocky Mountain Roll video. It has been incredible. We went from, I think when I made that video, we had sold 50 tickets, and now we're at 80. There are only 20 tickets left to Rocky Mountain Roll, you guys. Insane. Crazy. Insane. It's not day drinking if you're in your tent. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Buffalo49, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks. Oh, thank you. That's an awesome sticker. Cheers. Getting close to 100 people. Yeah, that 100 people is our max, so there's only 20 tickets left. Crazy. Oh my goodness. I think there's only 1 year we sold 114 tickets the second year, and that's like when Mom was like, we are officially capping at 100 in the next couple years. So the second year was the only year that we sold more than 100 tickets, and then only 74 people showed up. So this is crazy. Insane. Drinking with the Magpie. Oh, thank you, Falcro. Sean, yes, that means you need a tent. That's not even a question. What's the weather like in August, typically? In Montana, Lynn? Is that what you're asking? In Montana, in August, it's normally pretty hot during the day, so you're going to want to have some way to bring some shade with you. The trees that are along the field at Rocky Mountain Roll do give us some awesome shade in the afternoon, but there's nothing to give you shade in the morning, so you're going to, if you're not an early riser already, you're probably going to be at Rocky Mountain Roll because the sun hits your tent like first thing in the morning. And if your tent is anything like all of my tents, they become a microwave really quickly. So if you bring some other extra way to put shade on your tent, like a couple people last year had, oh my god, what are they called? Wing tarps that they set up to create shade for their tent to add a little bit of coolness in the mornings in the middle of the day. But most of the time everybody goes down to the river midday to cool off, especially during the heat of the day. There isn't a whole lot of shade at camp. We do set up, I think we have 2 pop-ups. I want to buy another one for this year to kind of add a little extra shade around the main hangout area. But since as the sun moves, the shade kind of moves around in those spots. But most everybody kind of heads down to the river in the middle of the day. I think we had 1 year where it was a little bit windy and it did sprinkle a little bit, but knock on wood, I don't think we've ever had an actual downpour during the event. Just like maybe a sprinkle that lasts like 20 minutes or something like that. How is it there? If you're talking about Portland, Wendy, Portland's doing okay. We had our big snowfall. A lot of people had power out, but I think most everybody around the area that I live have gotten power back. Our house didn't lose power, thankfully. I think we had like 30 minutes where we lost power, but it came back really quickly. And we had internet during the whole thing, thankfully, but some other people that are like our neighbors didn't have internet because they had CenturyLink and we have Comcast, so... But the great melt happened, so now all the snow is gone. Can you imagine selling 100 tickets and have everyone show up? Scott, that would be insane. I don't think that's going to happen because I've already had like 2 people reach out and tell me that they're not going to be able to make it because some plans changed, but that would be crazy. And a very good thing that we have lots of overflow space. Let's see, did I miss something? Are Valkyries allowed at Rimmer? Joel, if you're talking about like Valkyrie the bike, every bike is allowed at Rimmer. If you're talking about a club, we ask that you don't fly colors at the event. A bit late, but we're here. Yay! Mom is here. Everybody say hello to Mama Zeno, and I'm sure Dad is watching with her. They're the reason that Rocky Mountain Roll happens, you guys, so you better be nice to them. Wendy, can I move there? I don't know what property prices are like in Montana right now. I know that they inflated there for a while. David, are the trees in the pasture or on other side of the fence? They're on the other side of the fence. I think that I did get a question about whether or not Rocky Mountain Roll was like hammock friendly, and we don't really have a whole lot of places that like would work well for a hammock. I know that I think his name was Tom. He brought a hammock, not last year, but the year before, but he had his own poles and everything to set up if, like, in the case that he couldn't find trees to set up, so that worked out okay. But as of right now, we don't really have anywhere that's good for a hammock to set up. Since the trees are on the other side of the fence, they're also on the downhill slope, so it's not really a great place to set up. 2 questions. Any new helmet reviews videos coming up? And what are some of your favorite states to visit on a motorcycle? I guess I could do a helmet like review with the dual pane of the 1890. Yep, I can speak clearly. I guess I can do a new review of the 18950 with the dual pane on it, but I haven't gotten like a new helmet, you guys. So. Besides like just a new version of the helmet that I already did a review of. So in case you missed it, I did do a review of the 18950 after 2 years of ownership. And that's when I still had the white one. And then I got the gray one right before flight of the Magpie, and I busted the switch that brings the sunshade down. Scorpion did send me new parts so I could fix that, and then they sent me this nice tan one that I'm super excited about, and the dual pane visor. So maybe I can do a review of like the helmet with the breath box and the dual pane visor if you would be interested in that. And then what are some of my favorite states to visit? Well, I'm incredibly biased, so Montana is of course the top of my list. Idaho is a close second. Mom, don't disown me. West Virginia was incredible. I want to go back to West Virginia so bad. And of course, like, I haven't been to all 50 states, so I can't say too much about like other states that I haven't visited yet. But yeah, Montana, Idaho, West Virginia. Arizona was beautiful. I want to do a lot more riding in Arizona than I have. Yeah, those are my top. What was that, 4? Montana, Idaho, Arizona, West Virginia. Oh, I have one more. Georgia was really cool and like in its own because I'd never seen all of like the kudzu before, so seeing like, I'm sure it's a terrible thing for those who like actually live in the state and having to deal with it. I think it's an invasive species, but it makes so much of the landscape seem like super like fantasy land almost. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. West side of Montana. Yes. Yeah, we're in western Montana. All bikes are welcome. Yeah. Special word for the day, Choco Taco. Is there a sign up link to Rimmer? Yeah, if you just go to rockymtnroll.com, it'll bring you straight to the page, and I will dump the link in the chat. Hopefully that link works. I don't know. Awesome watching your channel. Thank you, Mike. Full day lost power here. Some of the neighbors were out a week. Oh gosh, ouch. Hello from Canada. Hi, Mark. Hello. Yay. All of the Mava love. I love it. I'm currently out having dinner. Hi, Jess. Thank you for stopping by. Second, yes. 100 people watching. Wow. That's wow. Doing part of the Appalachian and Mabder in April. Oh, that's gonna be so awesome. Let me know how it goes. Better say Ohio. Jess is listening. Ohio was my favorite just because I got to meet Jess. Like, I think it's a beautiful state, and like getting to see all the cornfields was super cool, but maybe not my favorite to like ride through. I'm sorry, don't hate me. Your whole family is awesome, and we're kind. Oh, thank you, David. It's good to hear that they were kind to you even when I wasn't there. Once kudzu starts, it's hell to stop. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Amanda's idea of hot in the tent is a little different than the boys's, of course. Yes, David, I'm sure it is. Question about the Honda CV Founder X. Have you had to have it serviced much in your long distance rides, and do you find mechanics are more accessible than Triumph Tiger would have been? Apart from like regular maintenance, like taking care of the chain regularly and making sure that you have a backup plan to switch out tires if and when you need to, I haven't had to do a whole lot of like work to the bike while I'm traveling. I try to make sure that I take care of as much maintenance as I can before I leave. So I did an oil change before the trip. I didn't do the second oil change until I got back, which is a little bit pushing it if you're going by the book, but it was fine. The bike did fine, and like the oil wasn't super gross or anything. I think that it's definitely a lot easier to find people who are willing to work on Hondas than it was to find people who can work on the Tiger, because the Tiger is so specialized, and it's a lot harder to get the book for Triumph Tigers than it is to get the book for Hondas. Like the book, by the book I mean like the in-depth mechanical manual for the Honda is publicly available. You can buy it anywhere. I think it's Haynes. I think it's the Haynes manual. It might not be Haynes. One of those big brands that makes those kind of in-depth manuals. But for the Triumph Tiger, there, as far as I know, there might be one now. But when I was riding the Tiger regularly, there wasn't like a publicly available book that you couldn't get if you didn't like even have an in at a dealership to get the book for the Tiger. Since I worked at the dealership, it wasn't a big deal. I could take pictures of the manuals, of the mechanics in the back, and use that. It was fine. But trying to find other mechanics that were willing to work on the Tiger was harder than the Honda, for sure. Falcro, thank you so much for the super chat. Cheers. I see you're tenting it tonight as well. Yes. In my office. You can actually, up in the corner, you can see my drafting table because the fly has moved a little bit. Let's just move that back. Northeast, great September and November. Yeah. My wife is from West Virginia. She would be glad to give you a local tour. Oh, thank you, Edward. That's so lovely. I want to go back so bad, and hopefully not get rained on the whole time this time. I feel like it was so beautiful, and I think it emphasized how beautiful it was, because even when it was downpouring and I was miserable, I still noticed like how gorgeous it was, and was thinking like how awesome those roads would have been if I didn't have to crawl, because I was scared that I was gonna like spin out, because my rear tire was bald at that point, which is why I got it switched in Richmond, Virginia. But I think that says something. If you are plumb miserable and you're wet and it's like pouring and you're still like, wow, this place is gorgeous, that says something. I'm on a Seminole Lake moto camping it up. Glad to see 100 folks watching. Yeah! Oh, that sounds beautiful. Max safe for Ohio. The people, yes. The state. That pretty sums it up. Do you use Rever Map App? Sorry, I forgot to put the question in the super chat. Okay. I do use the Rever Map App. I love it. I especially love like the desktop version for planning trips, because I have the pro version, so I have access to like all of the Butler map routes. And also, I think something that people don't really realize is that on the Rever, if you pay for pro, so you can get the Butler map routes, they have so many more routes like on Rever than they do on the paper map, because they reserve like the routes that they highlight on the paper map for like the gold standard ones, or like the top 3. But if you get pro on Rever, they give you access to like the top 3 that are on the paper map maps, but they also highlight like paid for service roads that are beautiful. They also highlight like dirt roads. I think like the Magruder is highlighted on Rever, not just because it's a part of the Idaho BDR, but because it's just a gorgeous road. And Lolo Motorway, and I think that the like Lolo Pass on Mount Hood here in Oregon is also highlighted as a dirt route on Rever. That's just an example. There's a bunch of other dirt routes that are highlighted, but like that ability to mark like paved Forest Service roads is just incredible. If you've never ridden like a paved Forest Service roads, because they're normally like one lane, they're super tiny and they're very windy. You do have to keep a lookout because a lot of times they're not super well maintained, so there will be like routes that kind of stick out every once in a while, but oh my god, they're just like a golden gem that nobody thinks about. They also like mark lost highways on like the pro version of Rever as well. It's so worth it. I love it as a planning tool. I used to use like the tracking feature a lot, especially when I was doing Carl's Mystery Rides, because it was like the best way for me to record our scouting missions and be able to modify that to make a route that we could share with other people that were helping support the ride and that kind of stuff. Because it was the easiest for people who weren't super savvy with GPS to download on their phone. I could just send them the track and they would have it. And they've got like the app has like gotten so much better than when they started. So now you can download huge sections of the map. So a lot of the complaints with Rever in the first place for ADV riders was that like it was hard to make a route and then you get out in the forest and you lose surface and you don't know where you are. So now you can download huge sections of the map and you download the route to your phone, so that's not an issue anymore. If you tried Rever like way in the past and kind of gave up on it, I highly encourage you to download it again and give it another try because they've added so many new features. That was long-winded, I'm sorry. I love how you start out saying, "Hello, beautiful people." Awesome, thank you. You always have a free room in North Mississippi. Oh, thank you, Joel. I appreciate that. Heading to Rocky Mountain Roll from Oklahoma City. That's awesome. Michael, I'm so excited. Haynes makes basic manuals and they cover many years, not just one model. Yes, thank you. Did you ever figure out why you got soaked in West Virginia? Was it a gear malfunction? Scott, I think it was like 50-50 my gear and 50-50 like a personal malfunction. I think you would have noticed I was wearing like that orange rain jacket with the hood, and I think the hood allowed more water to seep in instead of like normal, like it would just had the jacket around my neck, and I think with the hood creating like a gap for water to seep in, it was coming down here and going down my neck. So I think it was like half gear and half me. The leg thing is what I think it was the gear malfunction, because there's 2 zips on the top of the thighs next to those pockets, and I think some water got in through that zipper, and that's why my legs were wet. So 50-50, like half the gear, like the zipper allowed some water to get in, and then also like the hood sticking out of the back of the jacket allowed water to come in through my collar. That's my best guess, you know. Hi, yay! Better late than never. Hi. I just bought it, so I was wondering if it's the best $48 I've spent for this coming season. I think it's definitely worth it, especially if you use it to plan out routes. Like I definitely use a bunch of different apps to plan out routes. I use Rever specifically to make sure that I find some really good like motorcycle roads that are going to be beautiful and twisty, and then I use other apps to find like camping and like essentially tourist spots, things to stop and look at. Do you upload the GPX files to your GPS from Rever? Deborah, I don't use a GPS anymore. I had a Garmin for the Cabder, and I did not like it. And so the short answer is no. If I'm worried about it, I will download the GPX files directly to my phone, because I also have a GPX viewer app on my phone. So just in case, like, I'm worried the Rever app isn't going to work, or because the Rever app does suck up a lot of data while I'm on the road, if I'm worried about like reaching my limit or something on my phone, I will download the GPX files from Rever and just have it open in a GPX viewer on my phone. That way it's not pulling any kind of data while I'm using the app. Rever Pro is great. If only for the Butler maps, for sure, yeah. The great state of West Virginia. Yes, yeah. Anonymous Spiker USA is here. Hello. Yes, they also have the new 3D option in the Pro version, so you can like replay your route like with the 3D. I think you can plan in 3D now too. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Two-Wheeler are here. Hello. It's lovely to see you. And Jess is back. Hello. Hi. It does not matter that I did not like the writing, just the weather. What do you wear for waterproof boots? I have the Garin All-Terrain GTX boots. I've had those boots since literally like right after, I think I got them in 2017. Yes. Because of that like whole fiasco with my boots on the pilgrimage, I was on the hunt for Gore-Tex boots specifically, and I found the Garin boots, and I really love the brown color, and so I found the All-Terrains, and I made a Gore-Tex version, and I love them. My feet have never been wet. They're amazing, and I've owned them for a very long time is relative, but for like motorcycle gear, I feel like I've owned them for a very long time. What is that, like 5 years or something like that? 5 years. But yeah, they're doing amazing. I should probably oil them or something and take care of the leather on the outside, but I haven't done any maintenance to them, and my feet have always been dry. They do amazing. Beards, Bikes, and Camping, thanks so much for the super chat. Cheers, you guys. What's your go-to camp finding app? Ooh, that one's hard. Oh my gosh. So I did do a video about a bunch of ways to find free camping, and that has a bunch of apps listed in it. I do most of like my searching for camping before I even go on the trip, and then I mark out a ton of spots. Like I make a Google My Map and I put a bunch of icons on it. And so I use like freecampsites.net. That one's not always super reliable though, so most of the campsites that I find on there I put as backups, like just in case the main campgrounds that I found aren't gonna work out. The Dirt, like DYRT, is a good option to use. Sometimes Onyx Hunt has options, like we'll show you some campsites. Honestly, a lot of the times I will just like zoom in on Google Maps and highlight a bunch of Forest Service campgrounds that I can find around the general area that my route is going to take me. iOverlander, that one is also kind of 50-50 because since iOverlander is meant more for like RV campers and that kind of stuff, so you can't always rely on their spots to be tent friendly. Like for example, there was a spot that's like, I think in outside Pomeroy, or one of those little towns along Highway 12, that's supposed to have free camping at the fairgrounds in the small little town. And when I showed up, like, of course it wasn't listed on iOverlander as not being tent friendly because nobody's thinking about tent campers, and I was told that it is not tent friendly. You need to be totally contained. You can't set up a tent. Stuff like that. So it's just like that kind of stuff you need to take in with a grain of salt. BLM is also, like, the BLM website has an option to search for campgrounds. That's really useful. Yeah. Yep. Most of the time I try to find like find a national forest that's going to be along my route, and then I zoom in on Google Maps and highlight a bunch of those campgrounds, and then I go to the national forest website and take notes about like how much that campsite is according to the website. It's always a good idea to bring some extra ones and some flies and that kind of stuff, so if the price ends up being a little bit different than what the website says it's going to be, you're prepared to pay that in exact amounts instead of having to give them like a whole 20 for a site that was $18 or something like that. And then if it's not going to be anywhere near a national forest, that's when I like kind of use like freecampsites.net as like marking spots as backups. That kind of stuff. That's a long-winded answer. I'm sorry. Crittermoto, thanks so much for the super chat, for being you. Thank you. Cheers, you guys. Oh, wow. I'm already halfway through. We did the map drive through West Virginia when you were there. Followed that storm all the way to New York. Oh, and camping. Oh, John. Oh, my heart goes out to you, man. I can't even imagine. I'm so glad that I got out of it and was able to like shelter in a hotel for the day to try to get out of it. I'm talking the snow, too many months of it. Oh, I got you. Have you been from Wamick over to Highway 35 through the backcountry? Awesome ride. I don't know if I have. I don't know. If it's not Gore-Tex, it's not waterproof. That's right. That's worth drinking too. Oh, Pete's here. Hi, Pete. Thanks. I'm so glad you could join us. This is lovely. Sounds like it's time for an update video. Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's a bunch of new things that I've added to like my process for trying to find camping and that kind of stuff for bigger, longer trips. Just now got here. Hope everyone is okay. Hello! Pretty much no BLM east of the Mississippi. Yeah, I was experiencing that problem, Jess. I think that was also why I loved West Virginia so much, was because like it was the first time since like South Dakota being able to be on public lands again, and I was a little relieved. Awesome. Okay, good. I'm glad. Do you ever get scared when you're camping alone with not so kind people? Courageous. I don't know if I would call myself courageous. I don't think I've ever been scared of people when I'm camping alone. You get that normal, like, bump in the night, like, oh my god, what was that? Like, was that a deer? Or was that something bigger that I should be worried about? I get scared of stuff like that. Most of the time, if I come to a campground and I don't get good vibes, if, like, I'm camping around other people, like, if I'm camping at a designated campground, and there are other people already there, and I pull in, if I don't get good vibes, like, if I think that they're staring at me too much, or they're way too interested in what I'm doing, I just move on. Like, and that hasn't happened a whole lot. I think it happened a couple times on the pilgrimage, but at no point during Flight of the Magpie did I feel like people were not so nice towards me or something like that, or people meant me ill. I don't think that happened at all during the whole of the Flight of the Magpie, but of course I didn't camp as much on that trip as I did on as the pilgrimage. But yeah, most of the time if I show up in a place and I feel like there are not so nice people around, I probably won't stay there. I just move on. Better to drive a couple more miles in the dark to find the next place to camp than to stay there and just not be able to sleep because I feel like they're gonna get at me or something. Yeah, that's a weird answer, but I hope it explains a little bit about my mentality. Like, when I camped like on the way to Babes Route like 5 or something, I camped at off of this road in the middle of nowhere in Northern California, like 6 or 7 miles outside of this town, and I was not worried that anybody was gonna come bother me. I was just more worried about like animals coming into my tent and like that kind of stuff. I'm not as worried about that anymore because like since that trip, like I know so much better about how to handle my food. You know, you don't want to keep anything that has like a smell to it in your tent, like bathroom stuff, scented soaps and that kind of stuff you don't want to keep in your tent because animals can't tell the difference between like a scented soap and food. So that kind of stuff you don't keep in your tent, and like any kind of food I don't really keep in my tent. I'll keep bars like that I'm probably gonna eat for breakfast, but like outside under my rainfly or something like that. So at no point is an animal gonna try to chew through my tent to get to food. And that's just a good idea anyway. Trying to avoid having your tent smell at all like food, especially if down the line you take that tent into a bear active area, that food smell lingers in your tent, you know? So I think like knowledge is power. The more that you know, like the less you're going to be worried about things, if that makes sense. Nicole, thank you so much for the super chat. Cheers. You've inspired me to do more. Oh, I'm so glad. I love hearing that, you guys. It makes me so happy. It makes like all the work that I put into the channel just so worth it. Hearing you guys tell me that like you went camping for the first time on your motorcycle, or like you drove like out like 100 miles or whatever to go camping. Like I love that stuff. So thank you. Cheers. You give great answers. Don't worry about the wine time. Thank you, Velcro. Can you list your new sponsor in chat? Oh, yes. So for those who missed the beginning, I am now an ambassador for Scorpion and MotoCamp Nerd. So I'll list MotoCamp Nerd first because I think that is going to be like the most useful, especially for like people who are new to motorcycle camping. And you can use the code Magpie at checkout for 10% off your order. And that's super cool. And they have like a whole section on their website just for like beginner motorcycle campers, so that you can make like a budget kit for yourself to get started, which is just so cool. They have Big Agnes now, which is like one of my favorite brands, and Sena Summit, which is just an awesome brand in general. And then they also carry Snugpak, which I just recently learned is like a brand in the UK that's super cool. My sleeping bag that I just talked about earlier is Snugpak, and I'm super excited to test that out. And then the other one, I'm finally an ambassador for Scorpion now, which is super cool. And then, as you all know, I'm an ambassador for Wolfman Luggage for a very, very long time. They're like my family at this point, which is super cool. Yeah, I think that's yes. It's one of the most wonderful things. So true about moving down the road, if the vibe is not right. It goes for more than camping. For sure. Yes. Oh, there's 120 people here. That's crazy. And for those who missed the beginning, we've also sold 80 out of 100 tickets for Rocky Mountain Roll. So thank you so much for the response to the Rocky Mountain Roll video. It was incredible and so much more than I was expecting. We went from like 50 tickets to 80, so now there's only 20 tickets left. Mind-blowing, you guys. Yeah. You helped me plan my cross-country trip. I couldn't have done it without you. Oh, Deborah, thank you so much. That makes me so happy. That's awesome. I'm so glad I could be helpful. Like Scorpion, got a good helmet from them. The wrong size, they can't return it. Oh no! Babe, could you like... I mean, you won't get as much as you paid for it, but could you put it up on like Facebook Marketplace or something? Or, I don't know. Awesome sauce. Glad you're getting some, yes. Yeah! MotoCamp Nerd has some great stuff. It's unfortunate he can't ship to Canada yet. Oh no, Critter, I'm sorry. Yeah, they just started. He told me they got their first shipment like back in November, so they're nice and fresh, and I just like want to support it because I think that's a thing that we're missing in the motorcycle niche. It's like a camping outdoor source that's specific to our needs. I think if you watch like the budget camping gear video that I did a while like last year or something like that, I talk about like trying to explain to outdoor gear stores and like the people who work there like what your needs are, because when you say you're gonna go motorcycle camping, like their eyes glaze over. So having a source that like with the intention in mind to be motorcycle camping like aimed is just so cool, and I want him to succeed. So Yeah. You're awesome. I bought a new 2020 Honda CB500X. Oh, dude, that is awesome. Ugh. Not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous of your 19-inch front wheel, friend. Cheers. Hello from Florida. Hi, Brian. Doesn't Cycle Gear carry Scorpion? They won't return it. They're usually pretty good about that. Beers, Bikes, and Camping. I don't know if they'll accept a helmet return. I know if you purchase the helmet from a dealership, like a local dealership, as soon as you take the helmet out of the dealership, they can't accept returns. It's a liability thing, because they can no longer sell a helmet because they don't know if you crashed in it, that kind of stuff. But it might be worth reaching out to their customer service if you did buy it from Cycle Gear. Getting some sponsorship love. Yeah! I'm not gonna lie, I squealed so bad, like, once I got the email from Scorpion to be like, hey, do you wanna be an ambassador? And I was like, yes! I'm going camping when I get back to land in the Gulf of Mexico right now. Oh, I hope that your camping trip goes awesome! I work in the oil field. Oh, wow. Oil field in the Gulf of Mexico. That must be crazy. I thought I missed it. Well, I'm so glad that you didn't miss it. Hi, Vintage Steel. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for doing this. I am subscribed and watching your videos as I plan my cross-country trip in April on a BMW F850 GS. Thank you for the ideas and suggestions. Oh, that's going to be so awesome. I'm so stoked for you, Allie. It's going to be so good. I hope that you're hitting most of the southern states in April, though, because a lot of the northern states are still going to have some snow on the high passes in April. I think Cycle Gear does do helmet returns. Okay, cool. As long as the sticker's still on it and you haven't been out riding in it. Cool. Elastic, heated, and squeed. Well, I'm out here just, like, sharing all of the words, evidently. Ooh, new bike day, Matt. That's exciting. Greetings for Virginia. Oh, awesome. Thank you, William. Thank you. I do have some questions from Instagram that I haven't answered yet, but I'll go over those in a second. Oh, lockdown in UK. Mike, I'm sending you strength. I had a question from Danny. What type of food did you cook while traveling? I'm assuming that that question was about Flight of the Magpie. All kinds of food, actually. I think most of the food that I cooked on Flight of the Magpie was like rice and some kind of vegetable. I did do like that pasta and mushroom stuff while I was in the hotel, and I did eat a few more dehydrated meals on Flight of the Magpie than I normally would, because a lot of lovely people sent me dehydrated meals before my trip, which was awesome. It meant that, like, when I was getting into the hotel super late at night, I wouldn't have to worry about trying to make food. So that was cool. I'm a little bit embarrassed to say that on the pilgrimage, I ate pretty much noodles and artichoke hearts like every single night. I did eat out for lunch, so I had like a mixture of food for lunches. Like most of the time it was like some kind of sandwich or maybe some soup, because lunch is the cheapest meal of the day in most restaurants. So I was like, well, if I'm going to experience restaurants in all these little towns, I'm just going to eat lunch because it's the cheapest meal that I can get. So I ate out at lunch, and then I would have artichoke hearts and noodles for dinner. And then a lot of the time I didn't eat breakfast, or I would have like oatmeal or something. But yeah, most of the time, especially lately, I've been making a lot of like rice and like stir-fried vegetables or something like that, because that's super easy, especially like with the new setup that I have with like the skillet and the bowl. Where did I put that? I just had it. Oh, it disappeared. That's how you know I've been drinking. Oh, there it is. But the skillet and the X-Pot like combo has made it super easy to like make rice in this and wrap it up in a puffy jacket and set aside so it stays warm, and then like stir fry vegetables in my pan and then mix it all up together. So that has been amazing, and like this combo for my kitchen stuff is just so good. I feel like I finally found like the golden application or like combination for camp cooking for me personally. My camp cooking like kitchen setup video is coming out next week. I'm having to split it into 2 parts because it ended up being super long, but I'm excited to share that with you guys. I just finished filming the first part of it yesterday, so I'm going to edit that, and patrons will hopefully get that by Tuesday, fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. And I'm super excited about making more like motorcycle camping recipes this season. I know a couple people asked for that, and yeah, I'm excited. And a lot of those are happening thanks to Moto Camp Nerds, because he sponsored some of those videos, so that's super awesome. Let's see. Elasticated. Greetings from Virginia and everyone here from lockdown. I'm definitely taking southern route from Newport Beach, California to Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, good, Allie. That's good to hear. Best part of working offshore is get 2 weeks each month, so lots of road trips. That's awesome. I bought the CB500X after watching your trip. You're great. Oh, that's so fantastic. What model year did you get? Did you get the like after 2019 or did you get pre-2019? Are you stuck with the 17-inch front wheel like I am? Well, I shouldn't say I'm stuck. I could get the Rally Raid kit, but you guys, the import fees are crazy. Like, I think one time I added up how much it would cost for me to get all the Rally Raid parts that I would need just to upgrade the front wheel, because you have to change the suspension in order to put the new front wheel on. And it was pretty much the same as it would cost for me to get a new dirt bike. Like, do you plan to test ride the HD Pan America and do a test ride review? I don't know if I'll do a test ride review, but I do really want to ride the Pan America if I can get an opportunity to. I know there's probably a lot of people who are already lined up to either buy it or test ride it before me. But I am super tempted to like reach out to the dealership that I used to work at and be like, can I just pretty please? I just want to ride it. Like, I want to see what it feels like, because a lot of people have been asking me what I think of it, and I don't want to like give an opinion because I haven't been able to either see it in person or like actually ride it, and I want to do those things before like I give any kind of opinion of it. I do think it's really cool, like the effort that Harley was making to reach other demographics, and I think that's super good and healthy as a healthy business decision. But as for the bike itself, I can't speak to that until I ride it. Did you design all of the On Her Bike shirts? I did not design all of them. I had designed a few of them. The Dirty Bike, Dirty Mind shirt, like the newest one, I designed. That one was super fun. Adventure is out there, like the badge. And then there's a BMW with like a dust cloud. I forget what's the text underneath of it. I just remember drawing that BMW in the dust cloud because it was like my favorite thing ever when I was finished with it. It came out so good. 2020. Oh, the 2020 model of the CB. Oh, I'm so jealous. But I also will never get rid of Briarios, so. Love and best wishes from lockdown in England. Hi, JG. It's lovely to see you in the chat. Hello. How do you mean? Hi, Michael. It's so good to see you. Hi. Drop your questions in the chat, you guys. If you have more questions, I'm going to pull from the Instagram. Did you manage to figure out a better way to mount the Wolfman Rollies you had on the front engine guards from Gregorio? I did. I don't know. I don't think I included it in any of the videos. I did make a community post about it, but I got, oh my gosh, what are they called? Pipe cinches. Pipe clamps? I can't remember. They're from a hardware store. They're meant to cinch down, like, when you're doing plumbing and that kind of stuff. And so I mounted those on the straps on the Honda, on the engine guards, to keep the small rollies on my front engine guards without them like cinching down or anything. And when I got to stop and meet Eric and Lisa Hogan, he told me something that I just like, I'm embarrassed to say that I didn't even think about when I was mounting those rollies, is that on the rolly bags there's like some cuts in the vinyl, on the outside vinyl, and you're meant to like feed the strap through those cuts in the vinyl to make the bag more secure to whatever you're strapping it to, which I've done now. I just feel so dumb that I didn't notice that. But having the hose clamps, thank you Vintage Steel, thank you. Having the hose clamps on the engine guards like helped it be way more secure than I could have ever made it without the hose clamps. Like, super ideal. So if you're looking to mount anything to your engine guards, I super recommend the hose clamps. Like, even if there is a good place for you to mount them and it not move around, hose clamps are going to make it so much more secure than you could ever make it without them. How's the Rocky Mountain Roll signups coming along, Michael? If you missed it earlier, I did talk about this. We went from like, I think I had 50 tickets sold when I published the video, last week. And now we have sold 80. There are only 20 tickets left to Rocky Mountain Roll 2021, which is crazy. Like, what? It's super cool. I'm very excited for this year. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm waiting for the 2021 Rebel 1100 DCT. First time I'll have a DCT. Presently riding a Kawasaki Versus. This will be a fun summer. Very inspired by your travels. Oh, Claudine, that's gonna be so exciting! Ooh, man. I don't think I've ever actually rode a DCT. I did look at the MC700X DCT, like the automatic one, when I was trying to, when I was shopping for a new bike with Papa after the pilgrimage, before we decided on the Honda. We ended up at that dealership because I wanted to look at the BMWs. And right, can you imagine me with a BMW now? That's kind of but when I got back from the pilgrimage, my papa was like, you can't be doing this on Lazarus, like she's not meant for it, you're gonna get in trouble. And I was kind of like 50-50. I was like, yeah, I mean, like, but she does it. And so he was like, well, if you wanted, you could have any bike, what would you get? And of course at that point, like, I was a huge long way around fangirl, like I think every ADV person is. And I was like, a BMW. I want a BMW. But I want like an 850. But I want a shaft drive, which of course, like, you can't get. Like, if you want a shaft drive, it has to be like a big hunkin' engine. I didn't want something that big. And then we got to that dealership and like the BMWs were like way out of our price range. Like even the used ones were like way out of our price range. So I started looking at the Hondas because I had the Honda Shadow and I love the reliability of the Honda. And so we started looking at Hondas and I found the 700X because like that was like a pretty decent engine and I really loved the shape of the tank and the way the bike looked. But like they only had the automatic NC700 and that wasn't what I was looking for at that point. And then the guy there like made a bunch of misogynistic comments and we just left because I was like, I'm not even humoring you right now. So we just left and that's how we ended up at Five Valley Yamaha and Honda in Missoula. And that's when the sales guy had bought the 2015 model to make room on the floor for the 2016 model. And he let me ride his CB500X that he had barely like 10 miles on because he was so sure that I would love that bike. Because we went there so I could drool over the Honda Africa Twin. But of course that was outside of our price range. And at that point, I wasn't comfortable riding a bike that big. And yeah, so he was so confident that I would just fall in love with the CB500X. He let me ride his personal bike and they let me test ride it, like go out onto the dirt. Like nobody went with me. He was like, yeah, just go out for an hour and come back and tell us how you like it. Get a feeling for how it's going to be on the dirt and that kind of stuff. And I came back and I was just like completely in love. And that's how I ended up with the CB500X. Valkro, thanks so much for the super chat. I have like the smallest amount in my drink left. Will the get out and do the thing patch okay for use as a patch on my vest? Meaning will the words wash off if they get wet? Oh, okay. So you must have bought one of the hand printed ones that I did in my shop. I would recommend heat treating the outside first. So like put the patch down on an ironing board and then put a shirt over it and iron the top to try to like heat seal that print because like it was done with silk screening ink, but I didn't like heat treat any of it. So I think if you heat treat it and then put it on your jacket, it should be fine. And if it's not, you can let me know and I'll send you a new one. Thank you for the super chat, Velcro. I was in the States. I would love to come to your event. Love the way your family and locals support you. Respect you. Thank you, JG. I hope one of these days the borders open again. I know I have a lot of like people who will normally come down from Canada to go to the event who like don't know if they're going to be able to come or not. Amanda, did you get a chance to try the cow chip bingo at Rocky Mountain Roll? No, we did not. We didn't play cow chip bingo. Partially because like I don't think there was a whole lot that would have kept their shape once they were dug up. And wouldn't you like a nice like solid cow chip to play bingo with? I don't know. That's I love my shaft drive. Me too. The Lazarus has the shaft drive, and that's part of the reason I wanted another one so bad, because like it's just so nice not to have to worry about maintaining a chain on a trip, you know? But Briario's just called my name, you guys. I had to have him. He's my baby. Yes, 850 shaft drive would be perfect, although it would probably be priced like the 1250. The 1250 actually feels lighter than my 850. I guess that's why they don't do it. I think part of the reason the 1250 feels so much lighter than the 850 is because like the Boxer puts the weight so much lower on the engine. The gal that I stayed with in Arizona had the 1250 and she let me sit on it and like lean it up and that kind of stuff, and it does feel a lot lighter when you're standing it up and that kind of stuff than the 850 does because the weight is so much lower. But I think once you get it like off-road, of course I haven't done this so I can't speak to it, but once you get it off-road I feel like you're still dealing with, you know, a lot of weight. But like wouldn't that be amazing though, an 850 with a shaft drive? Ugh, that would be amazing. Really enjoy this Honest Ladies channel. Thank you, JG. The MC750 has the fuel cap under all of the luggage you might strap to it. True. Yes. I loved the fact that like there's like a big hole in the gas tank though. That was super cool. You could fit a ton of stuff in there without having to put a tank bag on it. Another new CB500X owner here, bought a 2021 1 week ago. Loving it and your content. Oh, that's awesome, Michael. I'm so glad that you're enjoying the CB500X as much as I do. Allie, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Cheers. And I'm out of drink, you guys. Oh, we're at the hour mark. That's why. The rest of my soda here. Okay, a couple more questions and then we'll wrap this up. I like to keep them at the hour mark. Cow chip toss. We do have like the beanbag toss at Rocky Mountain Roll. Shaft drives love them. I ride an FJR 1300, 90k miles to date. That's awesome. Have you had any issues with your shaft drive before, JG? Like, I'm so looking forward to this year's Rocky Mountain Roll. Me too, David. I'm so excited. These Beamer 1250s carry their weight low. Such a great balance. For sure. I think that's part of the reason why like the BMWs are such like a popular option for ADV, because a lot of other ADV bikes like put the weight so much higher on the bike. Like the Tiger's weight is so high. Like the way that they shape the gas tank and everything, like they put the weight it's just it's fantastic in the twisties. Not so awesome if you're trying to do anything slow speed off-road. I haven't gotten to sit on the Africa Twin yet since like I've gotten comfortable doing the 1 foot thing. I'm still looking for somebody who will let me ride their Africa Twin. I was at a BMW dealer yesterday. Started riding 2 years ago at 62 years old. I followed you since you've encouraged me to do the thing. Oh, John, that's so awesome. Oh, I love that. Power outage distracted me, but now I'm signed up for Rocky Mountain Roll. Oh, Michael, that's so awesome. Oh, I'm stoked. This is going to be so cool. No issues at all. Oh, that's good. That's fantastic. Best thing about the Boxer is when it falls over, it doesn't go all the way. Andrew keeps it up a bit. So does I used to do for a bunch of the events at when I worked at the Harley Davidson dealership. I used to do like pickup classes about like how to pick up your bike if you're a girl, and we used to always use like one of the street glides with the big engine guards on it because it was so much easier to pick up. So it was easy to like give an example of picking up, and it was easy to let other people try to pick up the bike because the engine guards never made the bike go over all the way. Gotta get running. Bye, Mr. and Mrs. Two-Wheeler. Thanks so much for being here. My little scooter is 860 Suzuki A50 S50 Boulevard is shaft drive, but is not off-road friendly. I have never done anything more than change the oil in the differential. That's awesome. Africa Twin is pretty low weighted as well. Like, that's what I hear. I want to ride one so bad. Maybe it's a good thing that I haven't found anybody let me ride one, because I will just I always dream about it until I get one. Planning Rocky Mountain Roll next year. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. At 70s. Oh, that's gonna be so cool. I own a Kawasaki Versa 650 and I love it. Shaft drives are difficult to fix out in the field. For sure. Definitely. Like, the downside to shaft drives is for sure, like, if and when you have a problem, it is a big deal. Like, fixing a chain, like, even like if it pops off, that's pretty easy to do on the side of the road if you have a toolkit and you kind of know what you're doing. Trying to fix a shaft drive is, I wouldn't say impossible, but very difficult without just getting new parts. Like, great to see you feeling better. Ride safely. Thank you. Yeah, for everybody who wasn't here at the very beginning, this is like, knock on wood, the third day in a row that I haven't had stomach pain, and it's so awesome. Running shaft and belt bikes, would not want to go back to trench chain drive. Yeah, I hear that. I have been riding shaft drive for years, have never had any trouble. That's fantastic. Sena 10C or GoPro. I currently have the Sena 30K. If you already have a Sena, get a GoPro. And of course, I'm biased. I don't have the 8 or the 9. I have heard a lot of the complaints about the 8 and the 9. So I would encourage you to get the 7, because that's the one that I have. And besides, like, when it gets cold, it gets fussy. But for the most part, it's worked perfectly fine. Like, once like you figure out the codec and everything like that. Because I have an older computer, so I had to figure out like what codec I needed to record on in the GoPro for my computer to be able to read it. If you have a newer computer, then it absolutely doesn't matter. But yeah, if you already have a Sena, just get a GoPro. Still trying to decide between 1250 and 850. Test ride the heck out of them. That's your positive approach and positive energy is lovely to watch and listen to. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. I have a 2019 V-Strom 650 and I'm shooting for mid-April to start my cross-country adventures. That's gonna be so exciting! Oh my goodness! Like I said, told Allie earlier, just like, be cautious, check the weather a lot. A lot of northern states still have snow on the passes in April, so just be cautious, but also have a ton of fun. My Ulysses has a low center of gravity, surprisingly. That is surprising. The owner at the dealership that I used to work at had a Ulysses, and it doesn't look like the weight would be super low. Oh, Jim, that's so lovely to see you. Hi, we're about to wrap up. Get hold of me through email in the About section of my channel. I'm in Milwaukee. I'll let you ride mine if you like. You have an Africa Twin. Oh my god. Amy, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh my goodness. So looking forward to seeing all of your 2021 adventures. Gonna be a good year. Thanks for your videos. Oh, thank you so much. Cheers. I'm out of whiskey, but thank you. You guys, I'm so excited about the Idaho BDR. Like, the more that I do the planning, the more that I'm just like so excited about it. For my patrons, I uploaded like my working My Maps file so patrons can see it. I highlighted a ton of like my backup campsites and all that kind of stuff and places that we're gonna maybe stop to see. But yeah, so patrons have access to that list, and that video that I did of testing my new skillet and my new stove. That's what I forgot to talk to you guys about. I also got a new camping stove. I know that I said I would never get rid of the Primus until it broke, but Little Camp Nerd convinced me to try out the UST stove. It packs down a whole lot smaller. It has the folding arms that I know that I have raged about like before, about like just not trusting them, but I'm pretty impressed. I did a test run. Patrons have access to that video because it's just like in my kitchen. It's super informal. But I am already in love. Like there's so much more control over the flame on the UST stove than on my Primus. So that's probably what's going to be going with me. I'm not going to lie. It feels weird, but I'm excited at the same time. Much love from the UK. Thank you, Space Cowboy. So glad you're back to being your old self. Sorry, your glass is empty tonight. It was fun and everything flowed nicely. I'm so glad. Thank you, Scott. It feels so awesome to not have stomach pain. This is like, again, knock on wood. It's like the light at the end of the tunnel for me right now. How do I prepare for an iron butt ride? Oh my god, Donna, that is a big question. If you haven't already, definitely go and follow What Meza. She has a big, wonderful video about how she prepared for her iron butt ride. It is fantastic. It's full of great information about like timekeeping and like creating a schedule for yourself to make sure that you get all those miles done in this time that you have. Yeah, definitely go watch What Meza's video because it's like there's so much more information there than I could give you in like 3 minutes on a live stream. So definitely go check out What Meza's video about how she prepared for her iron butt ride. Your family must be so proud of you. Thank you, JG. You're just dropping all of the wonderful comments for me tonight. That's just so lovely. I mean, like, I hope that they're proud of me. Sometimes I think that they might think I'm a little bit crazy, which is probably fair. I think someone just made Amanda's dream happen. Yes. I'm going to get to ride an Africa twin, you guys. It's going to happen. Hello, Magpie. Greetings from Costa Rica. Hi, Bernard. Thanks so much for stopping in. Let's face it, any stove works with gas. Time does not matter in the backcountry. That's for sure. Being able to control what, you know, like what the flame is at is helpful though for not burning food. Watching from Ingrid. Hi, Papa Kilo. It's so lovely. Hi. Oh my goodness. There's so many people from the UK. Wow. I'm from South Carolina. It got snowed on the first week of September up in South Dakota last year. Crazy. In September? Wow. Yeah. I guess that's not super surprising. Didn't Two Wheels Big Life get snowed on in like early October in South Dakota? I think it was. I don't remember. Everett, Washington. Yes. PNW people. Represent. Awesome. Okay, you guys, we're closing in on the hour 15 mark. I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me tonight. This was so much fun. I love doing these live streams. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's my favorite thing. Just a reminder, if you do go to motocampnerd.com and you use the code Magpie, you can get 10% off of your order, especially if you're just getting into motorcycle camping and you're looking for budget options. I highly recommend going and checking out their website. They only carry things that are going to be like lightweight and compact, so for use on a motorcycle, highly recommend. Also, go give Scorpion some love for me now that I'm an ambassador, and they sent me a whole new Yosemite suit. So exciting. Next week's video is the first part in my how to set up your motorcycle camping kitchen setup. I said that twice. Anyway, first part in like trying to give you the best tools that I can give you to start making your own motorcycle camp kitchen more than just a jet boil or something like that, so that you can make meals out on the road that are more than ramen noodles. Mike, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. Are you practice camping in your house? I mean, you could say that. This is the first time that I've set up this tent. I've owned this MSR tent for a while. I got it at when I was working at REI. I got it from a garage sale thing, so I got a little bit of a discount on it. So it's a used tent. It's the first time I've set it up because like shortly after I bought this tent, I bought the Big Agnes, which everybody knows is my new love in life, is the Big Agnes Copper Spur bikepacking tent, which I took on flight in the Magpie. So this is the first time that I've set up this tent, and it's beautiful. It's very aesthetic. But pack size wise, the Big Agnes tent still wins. And actually, I think use wise, the Big Agnes tent still wins because there's like no pockets in this tent. This is the MSR Hubba Hubba 2-person tent, I believe. Hubba, yes, Hubba Hubba NX. And there's no pockets, like, there's no pockets in the ceiling, there's no pockets, like, on the other parts of the walls or down the bottom, like, on my Big Agnes. I think this would be a good backpacking, backpacking tent, but maybe not the perfect motorcycle camping tent. I'm still stoked to own it, though, because I think it's beautiful. But yeah, I got distracted. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you guys all next week in the comment section on the camp kitchen video. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I put a lot of research and work into it, so I hope that you like it. And like I said, there will be more motorcycle camping recipe videos coming this season. Thanks to Moto Camp Nerd, he's making those videos possible. So yes, thank you guys so much for being here. Okay. Oh, Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Go get that glass refilled and have a good evening. Thank you so much for the super chat, Brian. I will go and get another drink, so that we can be drinking buddies in spirit or something. Whew, maybe I should drink some water first. Oh, thank you, Allie. Oh my god, you guys are so lovely. Does Big Agnes know? I do not know. Love your stream. Thank you, John. Alright, okay. For real. Pete! Thank you so much for the super chat, Pete. Thank you. I'm starting to think that you guys are just trying to keep me here. I don't Which, like, no shame. Thanks, Michael. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Thank you, guys. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. You always make it a blast to do live streams. I always look forward to seeing all of your names in the comments and like in the stream chat, but also on the videos. You guys seriously just make all the work worth it. And oh, and I totally forgot to mention that we hit 16K, you guys. I was like still trying to figure out how to celebrate 15K, and then we hit 16K in like, what was it, like a month? What? Thank you guys so much. I wouldn't be here without you. Yeah, thank you so much for all of your love and support. Just, it means the world to me. Wish you good health. We need our Magpie videos during the winter. Alright, you guys. I love you. I'll see you guys in the comment section in next week's video. Okay, cool. Okay, for real though. Okay, bye-bye.